Now for our student speaker. Each year as we bid our seniors goodbye, it is a Comm Studies tradition to select a student speaker to represent the entire graduating class. The graduation speaker selection committee is comprised of 3 brave senior volunteers, Riley Bryson, Griffin Montana, and Scott Pincus. This dedicated team took on the time-consuming and challenging task of listening to a large number of excellent presentations in order to pick just one speaker to represent their fellow 2015 Comm Studies graduating seniors. My colleague Steve Peterson will now introduce the person that they chose to speak to you today. Steve?
It's my pleasure to introduce today's student speaker, Hossain Albgal. He is a communications board chairman this year, and he's been involved with the Muslim Student Association. He has secured a great job at a little-known company called Google in Mountain View, California. And most importantly, I believe, he is a Golden State Warriors fan. So give it up. Give it up for Hossain.
Go Dubs. Okay, thank you, Professor Peterson. And before I start, I just want to really quickly thank my mom who's here. She's everything to me, so I love you, Ma. Family, friends, faculty, staff, esteemed guests, uninvited guests, overeager student debt collectors, and of course, the UCLA Communication Studies class of 2015. Welcome and congratulations. It's no small achievement to graduate from the most well-regarded, competitive, prestigious school in all of Southern California. In approximately 20 minutes, each one of us will walk across this stage and receive a token of the contribution we've made to this school. Our names announce declaration that we were each, in some shape or form, a contributor to UCLA's rich and celebrated history. Now, as glorious as that sounds and elegant as we'll make it seem, graduating is an incredibly difficult process and a confusing one for every Bruin. It usually involves, but isn't limited to, frantically snatching every flyer on Bruin Walk, thanking each student and giving them a look that says, I know I've been bad to you in the past, but if you let me stay, it'll be different, I swear. Or eating every meal at the dining halls in some feeble attempt to relive your golden years, creepily passing by groups of freshmen whispering, it all goes by so fast. And with the wound of Zayn Malik leaving One Direction, the class of 2015 has had an especially painful experience. But for the chosen few that populate Rolfe Hall, graduating from the Communication Studies Department will conclude a journey that no other graduating Bruin can claim conquered. I'm constantly asked to describe what communication studies is, and constantly I find myself reverting to the one analogy that I believe most accurately depicts the experience of a comm major. I usually tell them, graduating from the Communication Studies Department is a lot like falling in love. Well, let me explain. You see her from a distance, and she's everything you've ever dreamed of. She's smart, she's beautiful, and she's the perfect blend of anthropology, sociology, and linguistics, and a handful of other disciplines. Sure, she requires an average 3.8 GPA just to talk to her, but she's worth it. Well, naturally, you try to impress her. You try to do something to catch her attention. So, you take Comm 10. And miraculously, you ace it, despite its reputation of ruining the GPAs of South Campus majors. But you have something they don't. You're not like them. You have love. And as you'll later learn when you have to take statistics, a tendency to commit the fundamental attribution error. Now, after months of intense pursuit, she finally informs you that she accepts you, and to look out for an email from P.S. Svensson informing you when orientation's going to be. And now that you're with her, it's absolutely magical. It's just like the movies. You love everything about her. The way she sends you those cute 13 emails a day reminding you to apply to various internships and research opportunities. The way she scrunches her nose when she reminisces about that time you took Comm 150 and learned how to perform a two-way ANOVA to determine the significance of the interaction between your variables. Or how sometimes she looks deep in your eyes and explains how your relationship is simply evidence of the social exchange theory you learned about in Comm 100. She's such a romantic like that. And then, like most relationships in Los Angeles, it's over after 2 short years. But it's okay because you still have the memories and a piece of paper that'll allow you to leverage your relationship when applying to graduate schools. Besides, she'll contact you every now and then to ask for donations. Now, despite what romance storylines and convoluted analogy may imply, graduating remains a difficult process for all of us. But for me, it took an ordinarily harmless question from a barista at Kirchhoff Coffee House to force me to view my experience from a different perspective. What began as polite conversation quickly turned into a reflection of my graduating, as by this time, I'd made a habit of turning anyone willing to listen into my unofficial therapist. While she grabbed a cup and scribbled what I'd later find out to be the name Hagrid instead of Hossain, she asked, "So what are you graduating with?" Now, normally I'd tell her my major and move on with my life, but I guess the sedating aroma of caffeine-laced coffee beans mixed with my vulnerable state made me reflect on this question a bit more deeply. What am I graduating with? The question buoyed around my mind for weeks, and maybe it's this medieval garb or walking in stride to a song aptly titled Pomp and Circumstance, but I think today I finally figured it out. Not just I, but we, the class of 2015, are graduating with a sense of purpose. We are graduating with the critical awareness to know that fat cells at 2:30 a.m. is absolutely a bad decision, but the bravado to eat it anyway. We're graduating with professors that taught us how to say what we mean, and more importantly, how to recognize when someone doesn't. We're graduating with responsibility, honor, and decency, unless it's the Wednesday of finals week. We're graduating with email inboxes strictly divided into 2 categories, Jane Bitar and everything else. We're graduating with failures that seemed as though they'd last a lifetime, but didn't, and relationships that hopefully will. We're graduating with eventual lawyers, politicians, media members, and inevitable leaders of countries, companies, communities, and families. We're graduating with, despite, and in some cases, entirely thanks to one another. Author Azar Nafisi perfectly captured the essence of leaving college when she wrote, "You get a strange feeling when you're about to leave a place, like you'll not only miss the people you love, but you'll miss the person you are right now at this time and this place, because you'll never be this way ever again." Today, class of 2015, we graduate with the awareness of who we have and the excitement of what we will become. Thank you and congratulations.